Welcome back to Trading with CJ. Now I've got a slightly different video for you today. I'm going to be talking about the company known as TUI or TUI Group. Now TUI is a German-based company, however it does trade on the London Stock Exchange under EPIC code TUI. Now I've been following this company for a little while now, however I wasn't planning on putting this video up as soon as this, but today alone TUI has gone up 55%. That's just like unheard of, 55% in one day. Now I watched like 40 plus different companies, quite in depth, looking at their balance sheets, etc. And nobody has come close, anywhere near that today, to getting 55%. I'm going to put it on the screen right there to show you. It's just ridiculous. So I thought with that in mind, we have to look a bit more at this company. Now TUI is the largest leisure, travel and tourism company in the world, owning travel agencies, hotels, airlines, cruise ships and retail stores. But with that all in mind, I haven't heard of anybody buying this stock or even talking about this stock. So I just want to find out, is there something that's not quite adding up, or are people missing a trick with this stock? Now if you find anything in this video interesting, or you want me to make some future videos on some more specific stocks, please hit the like and subscribe button. Also leave some comments down below, it really does help out my channel. So with this company being a leader in its field, I was planning on covering it anyway and getting into its balance sheet. However, with it being up 55% in one day, now is the perfect time. So let's delve into this company and see if TUI stock is now a buy. So this is the TUI stock, as I say, EPIC code TUI. I'm on the London Stock Exchange one, and as I've already said, the price has gone up 55% in one day alone, which is massive. I've not actually seen a stock that big in a long time. We know the market's doing good today, however, no one has come close to that. So 55% in one day, current share price £4.65 a share. If we look at where they were trading at their highs of the last 52 weeks, their highs of £12.71, which was only back in November, so not even that long ago really, of £12.71, and then lows of £2.42, and that was obviously just before this global pandemic in March. So to be honest, their share price is still at a massive discount, and to be getting it for that price, even though it has gone up 55%, is still really cheap. But we need to do a little bit more digging than just looking at the actual price. So TUI have a market cap of £1.8 billion. This is just slightly out of sync because the market has just closed, so we may see some slight differences. As you see, the share price on here is £4.59 when we know it's actually currently £4.65. That'll be the only difference really on here, and it's not going to make a massive change to what we're looking at anyway. So this is the 1 year graph, and we can see they're doing pretty well throughout the year, to be honest. And around end of 2019, it's been on an uphill, and then we've had the crash in February, which has obviously led to nobody travelling, hence the price has dropped massively. It's probably worth pointing out, let's address it as well, Thomas Cook, as we know, was one of their massive competitors, rivals, obviously went bankrupt in 2019. Thomas Cook, they traded for over 178 years, which was just incredible. However, due to lots of debt, and they couldn't secure any loans from the banks, along with Brexit as well, led to their demise in the end. So with that happening, we thought maybe TUI would have a slight bounce back, and it did actually bounce back really in January. It did go up a little bit, not as much as we probably thought, but it hasn't really helped because we had the pandemic, hence they have been hit again. So the Thomas Cook going really didn't make much of a difference to TUI. If we cover their market performance here, we can see TUI are obviously down 59%, no surprises there, no planes currently flying, so they're probably going to have negative on a lot of this. They've gone up, as we just said, recently, and that's obviously just increased slightly higher as well. So 59% down on their return for the year. Their volatility here is extremely high, probably as high as you can get, because there's nobody knows what's going to happen with the industry at the moment. So you know, it's high. We don't know exactly where TUI will be in the next few months, let alone next few years. So on to TUI's valuation. TUI is massively undervalued, 58.4%. Fair value will be £7.26. Current share price £3.02. As we know, their price is slightly higher after today's. The market has just closed. However, it's still going to be ridiculously undervalued. Now, I'd love to cover their PE ratio to see what we're actually getting for our share price, but at the moment TUI are profitable. So there is no PE ratio or any PE growth. That is actually predicted to be unprofitable. If we look down here for the next is it for 2 years, 3 years? Yeah, here we go. Earnings and growth forecast. So they're currently here in 2020, as we can see, minus 132 million euros. We're talking euros here because this is a German company. And then that's predicted to still be minus 2021. And really, it gets to about mid 21, 2022, where this becomes profitable. So they're looking at a while again for this to become profitable. It's not the end of the world. However, it's not a great sign that they are negative. But what is nice to see is that figure right there, 118.4%. That's their forecasted annual earnings growth. So we're talking here annual earnings over the next 1 to 3 years. They might be unprofitable short term. However, next 1 to 3 years, 118% forecasted growth. Obviously, this is forecasted and speculative. However, that is a nice figure to be seeing right there. If we compare this forecast growth to the industry was predicted 35% and the market 20%. So it is massively outweighing all of those three. And even in their revenue, it's also beating them 14% compared to 6 and 3. Now, as investors, this is one that we really want to look at here, which is the future return on equity, which is how much we're going to get for our money, basically, how much we're going to get for our shares, etc. And in 3 years, we are predicted to get 25% future return on any equity. 25% price. That beats any bank out there, really, in terms of savings rates and stuff. So 25% future return, that's quite nice to see. Now, I just want to cover their balance sheet, which is obviously one of the most important things, really. Short term, you can see their liabilities outweigh their assets. However, long term, they do have enough assets to cover their liabilities. So debt-wise, it's not great for them at the moment. They've got a lot of liabilities, and it's whether they can afford to pay them back. Now, if we just go on to a bit of news about this company, as of the last week, it was announced that they are going to axe another 8,000 jobs. They're looking to axe anyway. Whether that's confirmed yet or not, I'm not sure. But 8,000 jobs to be axed, which will reduce the cost base for this company by 30% across the entire TUI Group, which is massively. So they're obviously trying to look to save money there. They obviously furloughed 11,000 members as well once the UK government scheme come out about furloughing. So 11,000 staff have been furloughed, 8,000 potentially axed. Not nice to hear or see. However, for this company, they have to do what they've got to do to stay afloat, and that's what they've got to do. One thing as well worth pointing out here, which is a really good point in some perspectives for them anyway, is that the German state-owned bank recently gave TUI a loan of £1.8 billion, or billion euros, I should say. 1.8 billion euros, a massive amount. That should see them through this short term. So if there's any doubt whether they'll get through this short term, that should get them through. As we know, to companies like this, they do have a massive upkeep cost. However, 1.8 billion euro loan should cover that. Downside to that loan is it has to be paid back by the middle of 2022. We're only 2 years to pay that back. Saying that, we can see here that TUI's debt, it has reduced from 107.7% to just 72% over the past 5 years. So you had a really bad patch here with this debt, and here as well, and now obviously they've made this gap wider again. So they have been okay at reducing their debt. It was a dodgy patch here, but now they're okay. Balance sheet wise, if we look here, as we know, they've got the 2 billion there, but the recent loan and other liabilities, which comes under that as well, 11.7 billion pounds. They've got the 1 billion in cash from short-term investments, long-term assets as well, 8.8 billion. So their debt to equity ratio is not amazing. However, it's not as bad as I was expecting. I was expecting this to be a lot worse, to be honest. I think they'll be fine short term as long as they can get up and running again within the next couple of years and get back to nearer where they was. Their debt to equity ratio there isn't too bad, in comparison to a lot of companies in the same industry anyway. TUI was paying quite a nice dividend there, dividend yield of 13.84%. Some would say that's very high. We can see the market 13.8 compared to the average market is quite a lot. You'll get a lot of money there. That was paid out or agreed anyway in February. However, I'm pretty sure, as with most companies in this sector, their dividend will be cut for the next payment. So we can see here that their future payout to shareholders is predicted to be 36%, which is nice, and it is covered by their earnings as well. As we said, there's not going to be a dividend anytime soon, that's for sure. But they were paying a high yield anyway, so even if it gets back to near that in the future, that's pretty nice from them. So with this balance sheet, it's not as bad as I was expecting. I was really expecting a massive load of debt on this, but comparing it to a lot of other companies, it's not far off it, to be honest. And they've got a lot of cash at the moment. Had help from the German government, etc., and they're reducing their costs and predicting massive returns in the next couple of years. So one last thing to cover with this company is, how do we actually see them? Well, in my opinion, this company is a slightly more of a pricier option. You know, if you were going to go on holiday and you wanted a cheaper flight, you'd probably go for EasyJet, Ryanair, a company like that. But TUI specialise in package holidays, which can be on the slightly pricier side in some respects. And with everything going on at the moment, that might not be the best option. But if they do change their model, or people come around to the idea of this, people are still going to want to go away. People are always going to want to go on holiday. There's always that for them. However, if they change the model slightly, they could be onto a winner. So just to summarise, a couple of key points. We know that TUI aren't currently profitable, and they're not going to be profitable, projected anyway, for the next couple of years, which is a massive no for me, and it does turn me off a little bit. However, they have got future predicted growth of 118% in the next 1 to 3 years, and a future return on our equity of 25% in the next 1 to 3 years, which is massive. I don't think anyone is going to turn down the potential of 25%. So what's my personal opinion on this company? Well, for me, it's not a long-term hold. They have far too much debt on their balance sheet, and they have to pay back that massive loan within the next 2 years. And at the moment, this industry has been hit massively. We don't know if people are going to be travelling anytime soon, etc. So it's a bit of a red flag. However, I do think short-term, it is a nice buy, and there is definitely a profit to be made here. I can't see it going under. However, with everything in this industry at the moment, it is definitely a speculative play. Now, with that being said, this is just my personal opinion. I'm not a financial advisor. This video is made purely for entertainment purposes. If you are planning on investing into the stock market, you should always do your own research. With that being said as well, if you are planning on investing into TUI, chuck some comments down below. Like I said, I don't know anybody investing in this company, so it would be great to see somebody potentially doing that. Also, if you do want me to cover any future stocks, put it down below, because I'm open to any suggestions. Please hit the like button, subscribe to my channel, and until next time,